The broadcast is now
Good
starting. All
morning.
attendees are in
Good morning,
listen-only mode.
guys. How's everyone doing today? Can you guys hear me? Sound check. This is a sound check, everybody. Check, check, check. Okay, good. Good to see everyone. Awesome. Thanks, Ran and John and Robert. Hope you guys are doing well. Good. So it's Wednesday, October 7th, and as always, we're going to jump right into the trade sheet. Oh, hold on. Wait, I got to fix something first. Okay, now we're going to jump right in. All right. Good morning. So hopefully everybody's doing well. We're going to start out by reviewing yesterday's trades and going over the trade sheet. You guys can see that I had a drop down yesterday. You can see I went down here, and I'm kind of, if this was a trending chart, I'm right at resistance. So hopefully we'll go back and take some new highs. But yesterday was negative for me, and that happens sometimes. You can't win every day, but you can see overall, this is since July, I'm on a nice upward trend, okay? And this is my daily activity. Not a single trade has been missed since July 28th, right? And so as of this point, you can see we made some really good progress and growth. And I have a roadmap here, which is my goals of what I plan to make each and every month for the next year. So I'm planning on taking this all the way up to a balance of 81,000. Okay, and so that's my goal. And I base all of this off of the data from my trade sheet, which shows that I'm averaging a 1 risk to reward ratio, 28 on my average win and 28 on my average loss, with a 56% winning rate. Right, and so as I continue to move forward, I want to really work on keeping this win rate right where it's at or get a little higher. If I can keep my stats exactly where they are, I'm going to make really good money, okay? And that's the plan, and I'm just going to be monitoring. You got to really monitor it. So here's a little quote for you guys that I want to share with you. And this was one that I've kind of known, but I really took it to heart recently. And it is, your problems are opportunities. Let me say that again. Your problems are opportunities. And so if you have a problem in your trading, right, then it's an opportunity to fix that problem. And you're not going to solve it if you don't face it. Okay, you're not going to solve your problem if you don't face it. So, yesterday was a losing day for me, and I'm seeing some other people. How'd everybody do? Robert had a down day. Robert, if you don't mind my asking, were you up or down last month in September? Just trying to help out and figure that out. Were you up or down? Just trying to see where you're at. Up. Okay, good. So you were up in September, which is great. So we had a down day, but we're gonna look at it, and we're gonna find out what we did wrong and what we can do better. Okay, so let's go ahead. And I had a bad day, but here's the thing that's good. I try to look at the good side. Well, at least I didn't do anything too stupid and allow my account to drop. Right? I didn't do anything too stupid. I'm still up a lot and doing well. Okay, so yesterday I got in on this Euro Australian or Euro dollar. Okay, and my entry was here, and you can see. Wait, that was the day before. Yesterday I got in here at this top, and it spiked up, but then it went way down, and I got in right at the top. So my problem was that I took a fake breakout. Right here was the breakout, and I took it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see a better way to trade that would have been to get in down here, okay, and take it off of a support level. That would have been a better way. I didn't have that option though, because I was not trading when this happened. You're not going to always be trading when everything's happening. So you have to use what you have available, okay? Now, Dave, you said you were down 8 pips. Good. It's not good that you lost 8, but only 8 isn't bad. So that's really good. So that was the one of my losing trades, and let's go ahead and take a look at the other one, which was a euro yen. Euro yen was kind of a break-even trade, right? This is the daily. I tried to get a breakout, and it didn't happen. Look, it went way down. And so if we look at the hourly time frame, here was my entry. No, it was this day. My entry was down here on this bounce, and it went up, but it didn't go up high enough. I think I got in here, and I went straight down, and then it bounced off of this moving average. So what would have been a better entry? To be patient and to wait, but I wasn't trading at that time. Okay, so now what are we looking at? We have a big up move, and it just broke this level, and it dropped down, and now it went out. So the question is, this is a great trade, but should I take this as a breakout, or should I be patient and wait for it to drop to the bottom? Well, I would like to take a bounce off of this level. So let's see if we can get that opportunity to happen today. Could give us a little bit better entry. Timing is really, really important. And so I actually got a really good question from someone, and it is this: why didn't you take a partial profit? Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was actually up to the point where I could have been profitable yesterday, because I was up $80 and I didn't close the trade, and maybe I should have. My explanation at the time, if you go back and watch that video, was, and it's really interesting to go back and watch these videos. That's why one of the reasons why I like to record myself live, is because I can go through my thought processes, right? What was I thinking? Well, the reason is because I was trying to get an even bigger winner, and as a result, it ended up causing me to have a losing day. So, so if I would have just taken the profit, I would have had a winning day instead of a losing day. And I preached yesterday about let's just get winning days. So I was wanting a little bit more. And it's always a balance, right? Because you're going to make more money if you can let the market run. So it's a balance. There's never a perfect time to take profit. And you can't regret the money. You can't regret the money that you make. If you say, oh, well, I made 100, but you could have made 200, don't regret it. Well, so anyways, that's where I was at. And then the last trade was the chief yen. Very similar situation. We had a breakout here, and I was up a decent amount, and I ended up getting out. So today we're actually moving up. Oh, this isn't the trade. Wait, the trade from yesterday was here. The break right here, I took the entry. It went up about 17, 18 pips, very close to the target, but I was trying to get more. So today, again, we're waiting for a breakout. We had it. Price is moving up, and now it's coming back down. If we can get bounced down here a little bit, I'll be interested. But let's jump and take a look at the news first, because that's one of the things that I always do as my process, is look at the news. Okay, and we have nothing till 2 p.m., so it's not going to really impact us, and that's going to be dollar. And then power indicator. Let's look at the power indicator, see what the power indicator says. And the power indicator is the dollar's a little stronger today, but the euro's still really strong. So euro pound, euro New Zealand, euro yen, euro dollar, or euro Australian, and pound USD. So we got strong euro, really weak pound, really weak New Zealand. Okay, so there's probably been some really big moves that we could have been on top of here. So we'll take a look at some of those. Okay, so now We know the euro's been really good, so we can go and keep looking at this euro yen. I like this trade. Let's go ahead and do the a custom order to try to get our timing on. So I'm going to do a custom buy, and I use this tool. It's called EPIC, and it allows me to put my take profit to put entries. So I'm going to do that as the entry. Okay, and I'm just going to click buy. Okay, so this is my entry right here. So if we go back down to this level, I'm going to be getting in. And my stop loss will be at 17, and my take profit will be at 25. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of that. And I always add everything. This isn't actually an official trade, though, because it hasn't triggered yet. And this tool it's called TechSmith Screen Capture, and I use that to keep track of my trades. And I will go over here in trade notes. So I'm just saying here, euro yen is a strong trade. I'm trying to improve my timing by waiting for a pullback. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here and see what the risk is. So the risk on this one's actually only $55. I'm going to drop that down and give myself a little room, just because of the win percentage. I want to keep my win percentage up. So we'll go back to the spreadsheet. And we're going to add that in. All right, so one thing to note here, let's take a look at my graph. If this drawdown continues, right now I'm risking $75, but if this drawdown continues, I'm going to go right back to 50, because when you're hitting a losing streak, you want to drop your risk really fast so that it doesn't extend into a really bad streak. And you want to keep tightening your risk and making it smaller and smaller until the streak is over. So this was a really good tip for you guys that have had some trouble in the past. When you're in a losing streak, drop your size and make it smaller and smaller. Okay, that will help you guys out a lot. All right, about ready to trigger right here. Let's see if we can get in. There we go, so we're in. And so I'm actually going to do the same thing on the Swiss yen as well, because it's testing this level. Okay, so I'm actually repeating yesterday. So we'll see if today will change my outlook. If it doesn't, then I'm really going to have to learn some valuable lessons. Don't do the same thing 2 days in a row, right? This is really cool. I love learning lessons. Lessons are great. Do you guys like learning lessons? All right, so we got that in place. Oh, I got to put my trade notes in. So I'm going to say something too that I think is pretty interesting. And that is that my goal is to make money, right? And your goal is to make money. However, it's really important to learn how to lose well. And I think you guys watching me lose is really useful because you can see this and then say, okay, well, he just lost money and he bounced back really strong. Yeah, so you really need a VSPRO signal to justify the entry here, and I have that, right? So VSPRO, if you zoom up on it, you can see that it crossed above. Like I always check that. And so it crossed, the blue has to cross above the red line. Okay, so I think it's really valuable here, and guys, don't ever hesitate asking me questions because I love it. I love it because I want my thought process to be challenged. Now, sometimes, so yeah, I like my thought process to be challenged, that's all. Because I don't get it right all the time, and I like people to challenge my thought processes. Okay, so let's look at the USD Canadian. Remember that trade I was looking at yesterday? Let's see what happened with that. So I was really thinking about a short here, and I didn't get a chance to get it, but it probably would have been a winning trade, right? It went up, it went down, and it went down 22 pips. So if I would have taken my profit, that would have been good. Part of this was because of market news yesterday, but now we've rebooted. We went way up here. We had a fake break, and then now it's going back down. So let's look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame, is it still in a range? But on today's trading, it's headed lower. So we currently have this moving average to act as resistance and support. So if it goes to this moving average and then it's going to make a decision whether it's going to pop back up or continue back down. So we can watch it. The VSPRO is not triggered on this one. So we can't trade that right now, but it should pop up here very soon. Okay, I want to look at the pound New Zealand because we had some really big moves on the pound. I thought I saw the pound was really weak. Oh, well, the pound was weak and the New Zealand was weak, and so it made them both sideways. So that is interesting. So we could look at some other New Zealand pairs. Let's see. Euro New Zealand probably was pretty insane. Okay, so you can see the Euros New Zealand had a nice break. And this would be a potential trade if you're a long-term trader on a daily time frame. It's breaking this level. Okay, and you can see it could move, and I think a really nice potential target on this would be right up here. You can see that all the moving averages are pointing up. It's breaking above the 150, and it's also currently testing this resistance point. So this is a nice looking daily up signal, in my opinion. And my moving averages that I have on my chart are the 150 simple moving average, the 50, and the 200, and I use that for trend. I also use the EPIC tool and the VSPRO tool as well. Okay, and right now the VSPRO is not moving over. So, so let's look at some of our trades. Okay, so Euro Yen is currently still setting up around here. And we're down a little bit. Let's take a look at the Swiss Yen. And now that I'm in the trade, it's going to be patience, and I can take a total of one more trade. So I'm going to be looking for that. But Euro Yen and Swiss Yen are just hanging out at the top here. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we'll take a look at the euro dollar. So the euro has been not moving a whole lot recently. If you can just see, I have drawn a trend channel here and a trend channel here. This is a short channel. So since the date of September 29th, we've been going sideways. So that means that we can either play this range, or we'll get a really good opportunity to break out of this channel and get a nice trade. And if that happens, that'll be really good for us to be able to get a nice breakout trade. So right now, though, it's moving up, and we had a little bit of a consolidation with an up move, and we knew about the euro strength. The dollar was a little bit stronger yesterday as well, so that is why it hasn't been able to break. Because if we look at the VS or the power indicator, it had some strength. Yesterday there was a news announcement that really had an impact on the dollar and also the stock market, and it was that they were delaying the stimulus until after the election. And I just want to make a comment about that with the election. You do want to be cautious about your trades, because you got to make sure you have stop and risk management on all trades, because announcements could happen at any time and things could get a little crazy. Right now in the United States, the environment is a little bit combustible, I would say. And what I mean by combustible means is it takes a small little spark to start something, because there's a lot of tension on both on different political sides of the spectrum. There's one group that is thinking one way and another group that's thinking the other way, and there's a lot of tension there. And so one little spark, it can start a fire. If you live on the West Coast, like I know some of you guys do, like John, one little spark starts a fire when the forest is dry, right? And so, when the forest is dry, the fire's light. And right now, we have a lot of tension in our country, in the United States. And I know a lot of you guys are not from the U.S. that are on this channel, so you guys may not know that, but I'm just letting you know. So it means that the markets could be crazy. And actually, I'm just getting an update from Robert. He said he reversed he reversed that. He says now he's saying, and I didn't actually read that, so I don't know. I don't follow the news too much, and so it's not totally necessary. You just got to follow the price action. But if he reversed it, then maybe the market will open higher today, and that could drive prices as well. I'm actually going to look here at the SPY here real quick, just to give you guys. So here is the SPY, and you can see that it went right up into this resistance point, and then it turned pretty rapidly. I drew this line in as a resistance. It went rapid. And now it's dropped down here. So it's in a range right now on the SPY, and this is the U.S. stock market, the S&P 500. This is that index. So if we get a breakout, it isn't an uptrend. It broke above the moving averages. If we can break this 342 level, I think that the market will continue to go. But right now we're in a sideways. We're going sideways, so it could go either direction at this point. This could be a reversal signal for more losses, or it could bounce up. And so we'll see. It looks like pre-market is up about 1%, and that might be because of the reversal. I don't know what that was about, and I don't want to even think about it, but maybe Trump didn't realize that when he canceled it, it would cause the stock market to go down. And then he saw that it caused the stock market to go down. He's like, oh, wait, we can't do this. I know he loves having the stock market go up. That's one of his favorite things to look at. So, yeah. So that's just something to keep in mind as far as the current conditions, especially if you're trading stocks at all. If you're trading stocks, you definitely want to be aware of what can happen in this market and the news, because the U.S. stock market is very open to that kind of manipulation right now. And speaking of that, I was going to give you guys a bonus stock trade. I have a tool that I like to look at with stocks, and the one that it's, so I figure I'd give you guys a free update. So I'm always trying to find uptrends, and these are daily trades. And how many of you guys trade stocks? Any of you guys? Let me know in the chat if you guys trade stocks. We're in an uptrend on this particular stock. It is currently going sideways, but it just broke out of this range. And then today it's testing this 50-period moving average. So if it breaks above this, I really like this this ZBRA here. It's called Zebra Tech, and it's a nice position. And I've been trading this technique for quite some time, and it just produces really good results. Even in the month of September, where the market was down, it finds the stocks that are going up. So in a down market, you can still trade stocks that goes up. So so it's a really nice way to make money. It's harder to make money in a down market than it is in an up market, but you can still find stocks, because even on a losing day, the market still has stocks that are going up when the market goes down. Yeah, so that's that. And so just a little heads up here. Somebody was asking about my broker. This is actually a broker here, and it's called Webull, and you can get some bonus stocks right now if you open an account with them. I'll post the link in the chat. If you use my link here, you can get two bonus stocks if you open an account. So, and just a heads up, I get a bonus too. I get a stock and you guys get a stock, or I get two stocks and you get two, something like that. So just posted that link in the chat if you guys want to try it out. It's a pretty good broker. They have 0 commissions. That's why I really like them. Okay, anyways, back to currency trading. That was the bonus trade. Okay, so I'm trying to find my third trade of the day here. Let's look at the pound dollar. Pound probably went down because the pound was really weak. And you can see we bounced off of this resistance. We bounced off this resistance, and now we're headed down again. And so it's not really wanting to go, though. I think it's because the dollar weakness has kicked back in a little bit. So this is an interesting scenario, because what do you see? We see an upward move. Let me zoom it out a little bit. We see uptrend on an hourly time frame, and now it's bounced off of this level. And we know the pound was weak, but the dollar is starting to weaken now. And so since there's a range here and a nice swinging trend, every time it pulls back, we seem to get a little bit of a bounce. And we got a nice bullish bounce candle off of this moving average, and now it's closing up above here. So I think we could possibly go back up. It's looking like a downward move on a daily, right? And traders are going to be looking at that, and it's going both directions. However, it's something to keep your eyes on because it could be a fake out, right? It could be going down, fake just to go right back up here. So something you could really look at. I like this bullish action here. If we go back and look at some of the other ones, like when it dropped down, a bullish candle and a big spike, bullish candle and a big spike. Here was a nice spike. So every time it's been pulling back, we've been getting a nice spike. So sometimes when something's working, you just keep doing what's working. So this is something I'm going to keep my eyes up on, maybe put a pending order right here if we can get some more upward momentum. I got a question about the Forex power indicator. I'll just jump over to that real quick while I'm waiting for that stock to set up. I always click it on the daily just to give me a general idea of what's happening. If you want to know what's more current, you do the 15-minute, and look, it's turning, right? So the dollar and the pound is turned on the 15-minute, just like what we saw in the charts, right? But I still like to look at the daily to give me a general picture of what's happened. Why? Because sometimes these turns are really useful for two things. It's either useful for a reversal trade or it's useful for a pullback. Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's go to the pound dollar. So this is either going to be a reversal trade that's going to go up here, or it's just a pullback for me to go short and continue with the overall trend. Okay, so I don't know what's going to happen. I can't predict it. But I know that the pound has been weak and the dollar has been semi-strong. And if I'm looking for that trend to continue, a lot of times the pullback will just keep the direction in the same direction. So that's what it's useful for. In this case, one thing I would note about this current uptrend is the moving averages are flattening a little bit. You can see this one's turned down and this one's sideways, which is an indication that it's slowing down. But if we get a strong bullish momentum here, I still would be interested in taking this trade. Okay, so Euro Yen, let's go back and take a look. So we're still sitting on this level. Nothing's really changed here. So since I had a losing day yesterday, I'm going to be more conservative because I want to just try to get some back what I had lost. I don't want to try to crush it and get it all back at one time. I mean, if the market explodes and I do that, great, but I'm going to be really conservative on my trades. Take it back in small little bites. So here we have the USD Swiss on a daily time frame. Prices moved down, was in a range, finally got a reversal here, really strong dollar move, and now it's sitting right on support. So I think the dollar could go any direction here. We had a bounce yesterday. Today it's pulling back. So we are in a range. It has pulled back. Now we see the dollar dropping today here on this USD Swiss trade. And so the question is it going to continue to drop to the downside, more dollar weakness, or is this bounce going to hold? And to answer that, I don't know. If we do break this, I think that we could see a nice down spike here. And you can see the VS Pro just crossed over. And we got a trade from Australia, New Zealand from John. John is saying Australia, New Zealand is breaking. I really like this setup, a nice breakout. I'm going to go ahead and grab this trade. And I like trading breakouts, so I'm going to jump on it right away. And so sometimes the momentum won't follow through all the way, but sometimes it will. We've got my target was right here at some of these highs. There is some resistance here that could hold it up, but I like this pullback and momentum. And I was really interested in the pound dollar trade, but I'm not going to take that now because I just took the Australia, New Zealand. With that being said, so now we have 3 trades. Let's go make sure I take my notes. This is a breakout, and I like breakouts. So I went long. I am going to manage my stop aggressively. All right, so we got that, and trade number 3. All right, so my take profit is 13 pips and my stop loss is 13 pips. It seems pretty large to me, but this thing's been moving pretty good. There's been a pretty big chunk of movement here. So right now the euro yen has bounced off of this level. If we break this high, the high of the day, I will move my stop. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the euro pound. Okay, so the euro pound has been in a really nice consistent pattern. You can see that it moves up, down, down, up. It's been a really nice uptrend. Towards the end of August, some really nice up moves. Ever since then, it's been moving down, and now we're starting to break out. And we know that today the euro was strong and the pound was weak. So here is a really nice looking euro pound setup. You can see that it has really spiked hard, rejected here, and now it's headed back up, which will probably help my euro trade. And if you'll notice, the VS Pro is starting to pull over. And so if we get this VS Pro run over the top, point back up, and we can get an entry here. This pullback was pretty nice. And so let me go ahead and manage some of my other trades here. All right, so this is moving up, and if I can get over this level, I'm going to move my stop. Let's look at some of the other trades. Swiss yen, again, same thing. If it moves over, I'm going to I'm going to move my stop, and then Aussie New Zealand. Now, Aussie New Zealand is a little bit different because it's already at a high. So I need it to make a high, drop, and then pull back up for me to move my stop. So there's really no way for me to move my stop here on this Aussie New Zealand right now. Okay, so one thing I got somebody pointed out for me, and it's pretty interesting, and that is that the Aussie New Zealand was not accurate on the VS Pro, and I didn't notice that, so I need to get more apparent at noticing it. And then I got another question from Rand that says, Rand made a comment and said, is it proven that the VS Pro increases the win-loss ratio? And the answer to that is I have not logged the stats. So I need to do that, right? I need to do that. I've always just used it, but I haven't actually tested what the trades that are triggered and which ones aren't. You can see that it looks like it's starting to turn up a little bit here. And even on this euro pound, it's starting to turn up. You can do some manual back testing on it to check it, but I personally have not done so. So I need to. I do like this Australia New Zealand setup. We just broke the old high, and it's going right to the top of the channel. I think it looks pretty solid. We are in a sideways range, but if it breaks this range, then that's a really cool thing, and it could go a lot further. I have my target right here at the top of the range. If it gets a lot of momentum and it looks like it's on crazy, then I might trail the stop and let it go. So right now, though, my total profit is $34 on all the trades. So that's a good thing. Yesterday I had a little bit. I was up at 80 at one point, and I didn't lock in profit. A lot of you guys, I think, learned from that. So, so that's a really important lesson. It's a key balance. It's really a key balance. So, how many of you guys are enjoying the training that you're getting so far? If you are, just go ahead and please let me know in the comments or hit the like button. Hopefully this has been beneficial. I really need to know if this is helping you guys. Okay. Oh, I'm looking at Queen, and she said, you actually were up over $100 yesterday. Okay. I'm glad that you guys are watching to help refresh my memory. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Thank you for refreshing my memory on that. Okay. All right. So one thing I was going to do is if you guys want to book a 15-minute roadmap session with me, I'll give everyone that books a session with me for 15 minutes a spreadsheet. Okay. And so here's the thing. It would be great if you guys could do that. And let me show you what this roadmap will look like. Okay. So this is my roadmap right here where it's not really a roadmap, it's just a plan because there's no driving involved. I don't know why I call it a roadmap, just kind of silly. But where we actually plan out what your goals are. But we don't do it based off of guessing. We do it based off of our results. So what I need is your I need your win rate, how many trades you won, how many trades you lost, what your average win is, what your average loss is. You're going to have to give me that information so that we can plan a proper roadmap. When you sign up for the call, you will when you sign up for the call, we're going to help you plan out your own roadmap. Okay. So, and I'll give you guys the spreadsheet. So the link for that should be, well, ta-da. Ben threw that in there. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. You can do that. And it's first come, first serve. We got 200 people in here. And so I don't have the ability to do it for everyone. So jump on it while you can. Okay, let's go back to trading. Okay. What is going on? So this Australia, New Zealand is the best trade right now. We had a nice spike here. I'm currently, it's a 13 pip target. So I have already gone up about 5 pips. So there you have it. We're making it happen. So John, you're saying both is strong. What do you mean? Euro dollars making a nice breakout here. Pound dollar, if I would have gotten in, I would have been up 18 pips. So that would have been a trade I was interested in. And the Swiss yen is going nowhere. Oh, so on the Aussie, New Zealand, both the Australian and the New Zealand are strong. Okay. Okay, so New York is asking about beginners that don't know where to start. Well, I'm really glad that you asked about that. Okay, New York, because I have something that I think you're gonna like. Let me grab it for you. Okay, so I am posting a link for a playlist, and it's a education series that we put together, and I'm going to pull it up for you. Okay, and it talks about basically everything. What is trading? How do you trade to make money? The reality of the market. So this is a basic series that goes through beginning stuff, okay? And you're going to learn a lot here. How to do commissions, what is a pip, what is currency pair, trading platforms, demo trading, margin account, trading view, and MetaTrader. Lots of different things. MetaTrader 5. So some of these might not be totally applicable, but it's we're just continue educating you guys. So if you're a beginner, jump on this. It's really helpful. Okay. So the USD Cad, let's take a look at this one again. So we're getting some more dollar weakness. So if we see an opportunity to get into a dollar weakness trade, it might be a good idea. The price has dropped lower, and it's right in the middle of a range right now. So if we look at the hourly, this is just crossing above, and we are currently trading at the low of the day. It just broke. If we look at it on a 15-minute time frame, it just broke this level right here. And so that could be a nice momentum candle to take it to some of the lows of the previous day. Because if you guys remember, I was looking for a bounce up here, and it actually happened. I was looking at it from here. It went deeper than what I thought, and now this would have been a really good setup, but now it could continue down to some of these lows down here, just because it's in a range and it's moving lower. All right, so I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying the training. It's really great. Tomorrow we're going to be back again at the same time, and we're here to help you guys in your trading, and so we're going to be back. And one other resource, I've developed quite a few different resources that people don't know about, and I wanted to share with another one here while I have it, and that is a newsletter that I created. It's called Finance and Markets, and if you guys are interested in reading inspirational, motivational stuff, it comes out every Wednesday at 9 a.m. So today is the release date in about 10 minutes. So I thought I'd send that out. It's called financeandmarkets.com, and it comes out with a stock pick every week, but it also includes a motivational story and a historical story as well. I hate reading news and watching news, even financial news, because it's all negative. So I created something that is positive, encouraging, and when I do a stock pick, it's always based off of a leader that I admire, because I think leadership's really important. So if you guys want to check that out, I think you'll like it, and I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Read it, let me know what you think. I put a lot of work into it. Training up my writers and my staff to make sure that it's a really good newsletter. All right. Well, anyways, just thought I'd share that. Okay, so one last time I'll tell Susan about our channel here on Trading Strategy Guides on YouTube. We have a really good YouTube training session. That is really helpful, and I'm just going to share it one more time. While I'm waiting for the trades to move in my favor. So Ricky was asking a really nice question. So I posted that link in there. It's a playlist that has all this educational stuff. It's basically from beginning to end in currency trading, everything you need to know, and it's still being developed. Okay, so let me answer Ricky's question about, do I think that banks and institutions go after stops for liquidity? Well, they definitely need liquidity, and it's not necessarily them. I don't think it's I don't know the actual answer to that, okay? But what I do know is that in order For markets to move, they need orders because the market is a buying and selling. It's like a giant auction, right? If anyone's ever been to an auction, which I have, I don't know if you guys have, it's pretty interesting. I bought a car once at an auction, and I thought I was going to do a really awesome job getting this car. I thought I was going to get a great deal. I was really excited about it. And so during the auction, some other guy came and started to bump the price. He's like, oh, I want this car. And then the other guy said, oh, I want this car. And it created this thing like, oh, crap, I'm not going to be able to get this car because the other guy bids. And then it created something which is famous in the trading world called FOMO, fear of missing out, being afraid of missing getting the car, right? And so those buying orders creates a fear of missing out, which then creates more buying orders, right? But you have to have people that really want it. So when you see, that's why breakouts work really well, okay? If there's the orders behind it, right? So this breakout didn't work so good. It's still early, it could turn around. There could be more buyers in here. But what happens is you see this big green candle and buyers are coming in like me and they're like, oh, this is a good market. This thing's going up. I want to get in. And then it keeps going and other people are like, oh, I'm not going to get in. I missed it. But then it keeps going and people are like, oh, I want in. I want to get this. So their fear of missing out creates more buying opportunities. Right? So to answer the question, do banks go after stops? I don't know if they do, but I know that in order for price to move, there has to be a lot of buying or selling activity. Okay, and so Freddie, I think there might be a little bit of confusion because you actually cannot download the tool. It's free and it's on the website. Okay, so you just go to tradingstrategyguides.com, okay, and you click free tools. You can't download this, okay, and then you just click the tool. And then you click it, and then it takes you to this page. There's nothing to download. It's a website. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Maybe you went to the wrong web page. But here's the actual web page. Right here. So hopefully that helps, Freddie. Okay. So right now, we're not getting the follow through on this. Let's see. So Swiss yen still alive. We'll see if we can catch a bounce here. Okay, so looks like you guys are really jumping on board with the consultation, so that's good. Appreciate all the feedback. Thanks for your info there, Linda. Appreciate that. And we'll see what happens with this. I am going to be closing up the session here, but I want to share something here before I do. Just a little review of how I'm going to manage these trades. So I'm not going to adjust this stop here unless we get a little bit of a reversal and the price goes up. So I'm just going to keep them in place. But I'm going to be managing the trade. The euro yen is sitting right at this level. We had a breakout and it's been resting at this level. So right now it's trying to go lower. So we'll see if it can bounce. So the same with the Aussie New Zealand. It's been moving up. And we'll see if it will bounce back up to the upside. And then the last trade here is the Swiss yen. It's the same thing. It's been moving up, and right now we're currently down. So currently I'm down $75. My max loss, remember my max loss rule here. My max loss is $225. So if I hit that, I'm done. If I hit all three trades, I'm done. So what I like to do is to try to tighten up my risk so I don't, even if I have a losing day, I'd like it to be much less than my max loss. And usually I get an opportunity to do so. And I probably could have adjusted my stops on a couple of my trades had I felt like there was an opportunity. I might have been able to move my odd New Zealand stop a little bit. But I'll be watching it, and I'll try to tighten it if I get a chance. So if you guys are in and you're trying to do that, just keep it in order. Thanks, Randy. I really appreciate it. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, and it's such a privilege to be able to be here. So thank you all. All right, well, that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. And then Friday, I'm going to have some special training. So thank you, everybody.